Are you sure he wants all of it? The whole barrow?
May wisdom forever light your path.
Not just a couple of empty rooms to start off with, then? We join Hragnette after a real bombshell has been dropped upon her by Nenya, the steward of Fulcreath. Jarl Sigurd down there, in his infinite wisdom, has decided that Shriekwind Bastion, the ancient ruins up on the hill, should be converted into a museum. Hragnette, as Fulcreath's best and only civil servant, has been given the responsibility of cleaning the place up. Luckily, she has Feindal here to help her with that, and best of luck to both of them. There's probably no use standing around and complaining, so we might as well head up there and assess the situation on the ground. I mean, above the ground. On the mountain. Yes, Feindal's probably really regretting agreeing to spend the day with her about now. No one's been to Shriekwind Bastion in centuries, but rumour has it that the entrance is somewhere along here past Pine Watch. As a matter of fact, Hragnette's ex-girlfriend Rigel lives in Pine Watch. She's a respectable local businesswoman who deals in boulders and makeshift bridges. A fairly niche industry, admittedly, but one with a number of loyal customers. And I do believe it is looking quite shrieky and windy up at this bastion. Not a bad view of Fulcreath down there either. Lovely little capital city of an entire hold there with its 5 or 6 houses. Right, of course, yes, we also have the Draugr up there, waiting to invite us to a friendly game of crossbow practice. Or longbow practice in his case. This little hut here, if we're able to remove the skeleton, might make for quite a nice visitor centre. It's a bit small though. I suppose this whole ledge area could be converted into an open-air visitor centre, with the hut for selling tickets if it's too wet outside. Obviously we'll need to put railings in along here. Keep the stone posts maybe and anchor the ropes to the rings on them. I think that's what they were for originally. Very safety conscious, the ancient Nords, apart from all the traps and Draugr. Right off the bat, it's looking a little bit worse for wear in here. Downright unwelcoming, in fact. And pretty much unthinkable for anyone in a wheelchair. This bit here, also less than ideal in terms of accessibility. The entire passageway's round, and it's going to be hard to get a wheelchair across there. Not to mention the stuff lying on the floor, a tripping hazard. You should never have a greatsword on the floor. Why are you carrying the curious silver mould, Hragnette? Oh, my ex-girlfriend Rigel gave me that to look after. Apparently her company was using it for something. We are actually on pretty good terms still, even if we weren't, you know... Fair enough. See here we have a coffin. That's definitely going to have to go if this place is converted into a museum. But this carving, on the other hand, it's a pretty much perfect example of the ancient Nordic god of magic, Junal. Once we get the spider's webs, and the rubble, and these plants cleaned up, it'll make a lovely exhibit. Well, that's as much of the mess gone as we can manage now. Won't be possible to get any of this rubble away without a pickaxe, so... Oh, look at that! Hragnette has a pickaxe with her. However, she also quite emphatically can't be bothered. So let's just go somewhere else and forget about the whole thing. This section's really just a cave. Someone's left a little lantern there, and there seems to be a pillar. It looks pretty straight and tidy for a pillar.
Is someone there? Hello? I'm on your side.
Thankfully, before coming up here, our intrepid heroine broke into her savings account and invested a sizable sum in a second-hand Staff of the Spriggan.
Kill any intruders on sight.
Not bad work for a Spriggan. Well, this is a big area. So many layers, and look at that, there's a tree down there. Let's see what's down here in the Bloodstains room. Quite a nice antique vase. Maybe that can be one of the exhibits in the museum. A ruby? Maybe that can hitchhike in Hragnette's pocket for a bit and the Jarl doesn't need to know about it. It looks worryingly like this might have been a torture chamber. The children are probably going to love it, so we'll turn it into one of the exhibits. More vases? This little alcove could be turned into a nice little vase exhibit. And we come out down here again in the large pit cave, in the big multi-level cave pit place. This is all going to need railings and perhaps a flatter, more sturdy walkway. Very expensive getting this done. It must be raining up on top of the mountain now. And what on earth is this? Boots. Blood-stained boots. Pleated boots, fine boots, pleated boots. Boots, college boots, boots, ragged boots, blacksmith's shoes, merchant's boots, fur-lined boots, miner's boots, shoes, barkeeper's shoes, boots, hide boots. It's practically Boot City down there. Thought does occur, actually. With all these boots, we could turn the room into quite a nice boot exhibit.
Not a bad idea, but I'm definitely keeping the pair with the fur. In boot terms, those are the holy grail.
The merchant's boots look especially fancy, so we'll give them pride of place up on the... If I can, give them pride of place up on the... No. Get boots. If you wouldn't mind. There it is. Pleated boots, you come along here. Miner's boots, take the positioned there beside the candle. Fine boots in there by the plated boots.
And thus the Shrine of Boots is complete. Out of jazz? Jeff, what do you mean out of jazz? Well, I don't know, just put something else on.
Go on, get her! Go on, go for the neck! Go for the neck, Spriggan! Go for the neck, Spriggy! Get her, go on, you can do it! Oh, so close!
And now, of course, we help ourselves to all her things. Quite a stylish vampire tunic, vampire gauntlets, vampire boots, and a sword. Stylish if you're a goth at any rate, which Hragnette is not.
Quite an eventful day down here it's been already. I have to say, it's starting to look less and less like a museum, and more like a tour of Falkreath's most haunted buildings. In fact, yes, that's definitely what we should do with this place. Don't bother turning it into a museum, turn it into a... Actually, no, do turn it into a museum, but don't change any of the decor. Leave it hideous and terrifying and run down. People will pay through the nose for a guided tour. Skull Hunter Shield. Not a bad looking shield. Feindel, don't stand on it.
Bit of a cold breeze coming through this door, so I wonder if... Well, something's definitely screeching a bit, but... Oh well, just one imp. That can't be difficult. Can't be too difficult to deal with. One imp. 2 imps. 5 imps. 10,000 imps?
Yes, thank you for that, Mihail mods. Thank you so much for the 50 or so imps right outside the entrance to Shriekwind Bastion. I think if this place is ever going to be converted into a museum, we'll have to just brick up the southern entrance. Unless that was actually the northern entrance.
This is definitely a trap, but we brought healing potions, so... Maybe the obvious one on the pedestal right there was the trap. Does make a bit more sense when you think about it. The obvious way in being trapped and the less obvious one not. Oh.
A bit of this. Bit of this. Bit of this. One of these.
Someone there? Hello?
Time and weather permitting, we should be able to take him on this time. There we go. Dwarven shield. Well, that is a good shield to have along. One wonders now whether the museum should mention the vampire infestation or keep it under wraps. One also wonders whether technically it counts as an infestation given that there was... Oh Jesus. Given that there was only 2 of them. Not the most pleasant little surprise to find at the end of a trip like this, but We dealt with him well enough. Now, what's that wall doing?
Jesus wept, I feel really quite strange all of a sudden. It's hard to explain, but it's like I know how to say the word air in the language dragons speak. It's strange, because I don't actually know if they exist, but I suppose I shouldn't complain about a free word of foreign language. Can you imagine what life would be like if Hragnette had one accent, as opposed to the 5 or 6 she seems to cycle through indiscriminately? Dark Sun Shield? That looks expensive. That looks good to have along. The whole room looks expensive, really. Could take years to clean up, but you could do much worse for a museum. And you could do a lot better for a balcony, couldn't you? This one doesn't even have railings. Quite a lot of things actually don't even have railings. But at least it has quite a beautiful view of Falkreath and the forest and the river down below. And the other mountains across the way, and the sky on top of them.
So much for Shriekwind Bastion. Definitely a bastion, and if Shriekwind meant something, it probably means something at least vaguely similar to all the horrible stuff we found up there. Probably time to get out of this armor anyway. The Dark Sun Shield was cursed to make the holder weaker to magic, so we won't be using that much. Still, how do you like the new boots, Hragnette? A revelation, by Talos. I've never actually known a pair of boots to be quite so comfortable. I actually have feeling in my toes again, they're so warm. Quite a good find then. Let's hope no one misses this particular pair of boots as part of the Boot Shrine exhibition. Speaking of which, time to go and deliver the good news to the steward. What's her name? While, the executioner heads upstairs. I'm sure we don't need to worry about him.
How do you feel? I think you might be sick.
Don't worry, I'm fine. I've seen the Shriekwind Bastion, and I'm probably not turning into a vampire.
Excellent. You've done us a great service. Here's your reward.
But enough about him. The main reason you were there was to investigate turning Shriekwind Bastion into a museum. Did you have any luck with that, Hragnette? Find any good things to turn into exhibits? But of course, there is great potential in Shriekwind Bastion for the museumification of the place, and I certainly do not envy the task of the people the Jarl puts on that duty. The people other than me, the builders and engineers other than myself, who are going to be given the task of actually setting up the museum, right? An entirely reasonable question there, I will admit. I would suggest that you leave Falkreath and come back in a month or two when the Earl will have forgotten all about the museum.
May wisdom forever light your path.
Yours too, Nenya. Right, well, I suppose I'd better make myself scarce. Thanks for your help today, Feindal, but you'd probably better get back to Riverwood before Hod and Gerda worry about you. Everybody has their limits, you see. Building a museum is not what Hragnette joined the civil service for. I've no idea what she did join the civil service for. It might have been an extremely bad idea. Still, at least she got a pair of fur-lined boots out of it before the end. Well, I say the end. The end of this particular stint of museum planning in Falkreath. Anyway, when's the next train to Morrowind?